In this video, we're going to talk about what you can do to build the stretchy stretch factor in your fretting hand. So this exercise is real simple. We're going to take our first finger, and you don't even need your guitar to be on for this, right? This is more about physical logistics than it is about actually playing something, right? So we take our first finger, we're going to place it on the 5th fret of the high E string, and we're going to anchor it down right there, okay? Then we're going to take our second finger, and we're going to find the maximum point right where we can stretch out while keeping our first finger glued to that 5th fret, right? We want to find that like kind of the point where you really start to feel it, you know? Like don't stretch too hard that you hurt yourself, but just like find the spot where it's just like, ooh, okay, I feel it right there, and then stop. It's okay if it's right on top of a fret wire, doesn't matter, right? And then you're just going to bat at that like this while keeping your first finger anchored perfectly still on that 5th fret, okay? And you're gonna do that for 10 seconds. So 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. You're really gonna start to feel it just a few seconds in, right? And once you reach 10 seconds, stop, shake it off for a second, and then we're gonna get right back to it, but now with our third finger. So obviously our third finger is gonna be able to stretch a little further, so we're gonna wanna find that point. By the way, when I first started playing, I could not stretch this far on day one, I promise you. I probably couldn't even go as far as the distance of 4 frets when I first started. You know, it was only through, and it's not like my hands got bigger, you know, it was only through just practice and just building that dexterity that I'm able to do this, right? So this exercise that I'm showing you right now is what's gonna get you there. So you find that maximum point, that kind of point of no return, right? And then you bat at the fretboard. You wanna make sure you're hitting, you're kind of like, it's almost like a hammer-on, but again, our guitars are off. We're not trying to play anything. This is just about the physical movement, and we do that for 10 seconds, right? 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, and so on, right? Then we shake it off. I'm already feeling it, by the way. This is an exercise that doesn't matter what level you're at, it's always gonna be useful. And then, ooh, yeah, really felt that. All right, then we're gonna finally reach with our pinky. So find that maximum point, right, while keeping your first finger there. And also, another thing to mention, as far as your thumb placement, right? You wanna have your thumb, like, it's almost like you imagine your hand hanging off of the fretboard like a monkey off of a branch of a tree, right? Where it's just kind of like hanging around there. You don't want your thumb to be over the horizon like that, or kind of too far up to where you really limits your range of motion. You wanna make sure you got a lot of space between your palm and the fretboard here. And then you just find that point. It gives you the maximum amount of room you need to make this kind of move. And then you find that point, and then you just swat at it for 10 seconds, okay? Now, that exercise, I promise you, is gonna give you results in as little as a week. If you're able to do that every day for a week, just 10 seconds per finger, right? And you can just keep it right there on the 5th fret. I say the 5th fret because at that, you know, at that point of the fretboard, it's like, because if you started on the 12th fret, you know, you're gonna obviously cover more frets because the fret wires are closer together. But right here, you know, there's a lot of time spent playing in this region of the fretboard, right? It's gonna really cover a lot of ground for you to focus on this particular area. And then once you've got that down, obviously you're gonna feel it. So give yourself a little break to recover. Actually doing stretches, like finger stretches, is really important. It's something that I brushed off for years. I had guitar players that I really looked up to that would say, you know, don't wait till you're too old, you know, to start stretching your hands. Like, you need to start now. And I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. And I'm certainly, you know, paying for that today. You know, when you stretch out each of those fingers, it's really gonna help you build that elasticity, right? Get comfortable with that range of motion, even if the most stretching you ever intend to do is just, like I said, like bar chords and stuff like that. It's really about building overall strength and stamina in your hands, you know, overall. And this exercise, though simple, is powerful enough to really get you to that point of building that elasticity, that dexterity, that stretchy factor I've been talking about, you know? So it's just important that you focus on one finger at a time, because there's gonna be times where maybe you need to stretch, you know, between your first and second fingers, or your first and third fingers, you know. So it's just important that each one of them have the independence and the ability to stretch if you need them to. But what's especially important when it comes to building a technique like this is to track your progress. So now that you know this exercise, start by taking a video of yourself doing it, right? Having video evidence of your current limits as far as how far you can stretch, and then practice this for a week. And then at the end of that week, take another video and, you know, A/B them. Take a look at either one and see how much improvement you made. And do it week by week. I mean, you could do it day by day, but that's a little too much. This is one of those things where you're really gonna notice the strides you're making over the course of weeks. So my recommendation to you is to start now with your day one video and then take the next video a week later after having practiced this, you know, once a day, at least once a day for a week, and then continue that on. And I'm telling you, by about week 3 or 4, you're gonna look back at your day one video and be like, I cannot believe that I can now traverse the fretboard this much. Because believe me, tracking your progress like that is the best way to see really the results you're getting.